Let it grow, let it grow. You don't gotta dig it out no more. These things that I have listed here, let's start off with Betterment. What is Betterment? Betterment is like all these other hundreds of apps. Betterment is a company and an app that is micro-investing. And what is micro-investing? Well, did you know you can be investing in the stock market with as little as $5 to $10? That's it, guys. That is it. And you don't have to have any knowledge of the stock market. You really don't have to know anything. Companies like Betterment take care of everything. They do portfolio balancing, they offer portfolios, they give advice on their site. Most of them only charge a $1 to $3 fee. Now I'm going to say something very bluntly and very clear, and I hope I'm very clear with you guys. If you have more than $1,000 in credit card debt or any other debt that has a higher than, I would say, 5.5% interest rate, having any of this stuff is just pointless. Having silver or gold, having a Betterment account, a Stash account, an Acorns account, a Robinhood account is pointless if you have very high debt. Because think about this. If you got, for most people, 20% interest for their credit card is a pretty good number. 14 to 20, I think it's 24.9% some people pay. If you pay over 24% on interest on anything, you guys got to really do some life changes there, and we can do a video on that, on helping people out. I am not a professional. I'm your average Joe. I'm your average guy. I did not go to college. I wish I knew all this stuff that I know now, and my advice is strictly personal advice, so keep that in consideration. But if you have debt, get that paid off. If you have a mortgage, obviously, you can't just go out tomorrow and pay it off, or in a year pay it off. If you can, do it. There's no point in saving money other than a rainy day fund. But besides a rainy day fund, which we will talk about a little more in the video, it's pointless to have money stashed away if you have a lot of credit card debt. It's a no-brainer, but credit card companies want to convince us that that's our money. You see, if you get a credit line of, say, $1,000 or $2,000, they like to make you feel like that's your money, that you deserve to spend this $2,000 credit limit. You see, yeah, spend it. We'll even up the limit. Spend it. You deserve it. You work hard. Guys, that is such baloney. It is not your money, and they know it, and they make so much money on interest. It's just mind-blowing. And, as a young teen and even in a young adult age, I spent money on cars and trucks, and I didn't save money, I didn't invest it because, personal situations, I didn't really care. I had no interest. I just wanted to be happy in the moment. So let's get back to what we're really talking about. And the main thing is, guys, if you got credit card debt, that's your #1 goal. That is my challenge to you, is to get that paid off before starting any of this stuff, before having any savings, before even investing, before even getting into anything. I'm going to go over my reviews on some of this stuff too, because I have got into these apps and I have, experimented with some things and I have results. Some are good, some are bad, so mostly good. If you do your research and you know what to do. And that's coming from an average guy for me, so, if you have business smarts, I don't know why you guys aren't in this, but, so, debt aside, pay off your credit card debt. If you got a mortgage, hopefully it's 6% or less. That would be ideal. Then, something like this can work, but definitely keep applying as much as you can towards your mortgage, but budget things out, and we can go into detail on that stuff. But let's get on to it. So Betterment is a micro investing app, and micro investing is pretty much you can take $5, $10 and put it in the stock market and make or lose money. Micro investing is a big. I would say you need to be doing it for 10 plus years. Ideal would probably be 15 to 20 years having money in accounts like these. So Betterment is one app / company that does this kind of stuff. Stash is another app / company that does similar. Betterment offers portfolios, and you can have a Roth IRA, a traditional IRA, and stuff like that. And Betterment, my personal opinion on Betterment is not that overly great. I put $40 in each account as a test. Betterment performed the worst out of all the other accounts, and I'm going to go into more detail on that. You can select different portfolios that they offer, from conservative to aggressive, and in between. I think there's a total, most of these companies have 4 standard portfolios that you can invest in. So one is conservative, moderate, moderately aggressive, and aggressive, so 5. So Betterment, Betterment to me is you put money aside in that account and you just let it there. You forget about it. You don't even really bother logging on to check it out. You can set up automatic payments is what I recommend doing for a Betterment account, and I recommend using your Betterment account for a Roth IRA. Traditional IRA and Roth IRA. Roth IRA, when you take the money out, you don't pay any taxes on that, but you have to be, I think it's 59.5 before you can take any money out. So you got to be 59.5 years old before you take any money out. So the younger you are to putting money in, the better. So I would recommend ages, as young as 13 years old. Of course, your parents will have to open the account. I believe that's how it works. You can't until you're 18, then you can manage it yourself. But I would say as soon as you get your first job, start investing into a Roth IRA. And leave that in there until you're 59.5 or older. And that's my recommendation. But on age range, so I would say by the time you get your first job to, these days it's, the older you are, the more of a risk factor everything is. So I would say 50. If you're over 50 years old and you're just opening an IRA account or any kind of account, then make sure it's a more conservative account. That would be unless you can go 15 years, unless you can go till you're 65 to touch it, then you're okay. If you can go 15 years, even 10 years is okay. So even if you're 55, go to 65 years old before you touch it, then you're good. But the younger you are, obviously, the better, because then you go through the highs and lows of the market. So Betterment, I recommend simply just using Betterment for the Roth IRA account and setting up automatic payments that come from your checking every month or every week, and just let it in there and just kind of forget about it. Just let it in, and every month, record that out of your checkbook balance. And that's my opinion on Betterment. So Stash, and again, I'm going to go over all 3 of these very quickly on which one is the best. But for a Roth IRA, Betterment is the best one, just strictly for the Roth IRA. Alright guys, so next we're going to actually talk about Acorns. Acorns their app is very awesome. Betterment, I am not a fan of Betterment's mobile app. It needs so much work that I don't even have it. I downloaded it and messed with it. I don't even have it. So Acorns app, awesome, so cool. I love the setup. I love just how they do everything. You can open an IRA account with Acorns. You can put money directly into portfolio stock market, and you can also set up what is that called? Wow. Automatic investing with roundups. And what that does is you can link 1 or 2 credit cards, maybe even more. I don't have that many, so only linked 1 to test it out for the video. And what it does, it takes off, say you buy a coffee for $2.50. What it will do, it will round it up to the nearest dollar. So it will act like $3, like that coffee was $3. And what it will do is, it'll take that 50 cents and it'll put it aside. So your credit card, if you use your credit card, you're still charged the $2.50. But Acorns sees that 50 cents and they set it aside. Once you get up to $5 in round up change, then it'll automatically be taking $5 or more. It'll automatically be taking from your checking account, and it will be deposited into your Acorns account. So that's something that's pretty cool. But you got to remember, you got to keep up with your checkbook balance and stuff, because if you spend a lot of money and after a month or two, it's automatically taking this roundup money once it's $5 or more out, and you're not recording it. You might get on your account and see, wait, my balance is only $500, but it should be $600 or $550. What's going on here? Did someone take my money? So you gotta keep a checkbook balance. So that's pretty cool with roundups. The putting money in the stock market is pretty much the same thing as Betterment. They give you portfolios and you choose your portfolio. I picked moderately aggressive, and the money that I put in has been like this. So it has highs and lows. It's currently making money right now, $1. Woo! So I'm making $1 with that. But it's a lot better than the Betterment one. But again, the Betterment is strictly just keep it for a Roth IRA. So I decided to open up a traditional IRA with Acorns. And that's doing pretty much the same as the money that's in the stock with Acorns. So you got roundups, stock, traditional, or another IRA. So you got 3 different things you can do with Acorns. Excuse me. So with that, a traditional IRA, depending on income and your employer and stuff like that, stuff you guys can really dig into, but traditional IRA, you're allowed to actually use the money that you put in against your taxes every year. So that's the benefit of having a traditional IRA. But when you withdraw that money after 59 and a half years old, you are taxed on it's either the principal or on all the money that's in there. I'm not a business person, so I'm just going over what I've researched. So with that, I decided to keep a traditional IRA with Acorns, Roth IRA with Betterment, and each slowly going to put money in over the weeks and months, and just kind of forget about those 2 separate accounts. Acorns Roundups, I tested it. It's cool. I even tested that you can do like ×1, ×2, ×3, and ×10 the roundups. I tested all those out, and what I noticed is it's kind of annoying because you got to always update your checkbook balance. So you always got to record these little small amounts, $5, $8 every week or every 2 weeks and stuff like that. And to me, it wasn't worth it, because I would rather put the money in when there's a little bit left over than use the roundups. But for a lot of people, that will work out pretty good. I mean, it would be pretty cool to use. So I have nothing bad against the roundups, other than you always got to be updating your checkbook. If you don't even manage your checkbook and don't really care about what your balance is, unlike me, I'm constantly checking my credit card statements and bank statements, everything, every single day, to make sure nothing is out of the ordinary, because we live in a world where you just don't know. So I'm always constantly checking stuff, and I don't always want to see it changing by $5 and $6 here and there. So with that being said, roundups, good for some people, not for others. So now let's go to the whole investing in the stock market part of Acorns. So they give you the portfolios that you can pick and choose, and what it pretty much does, it puts your money in ETFs and other areas, bonds as well. Depends on what you choose. Aggressive is for those who have lots of time. And I recommend don't do any of these accounts if you need the money. Only put money in that's extra. I don't recommend ever withdrawing the money. Just leave it in there and forget about it. Just let it grow, guys. Just let it grow. Let it grow, let it grow. You don't gotta take it out no more. Okay, sorry guys. So there you go, the 3 accounts. Traditional IRA with Acorns. Just put the money in there, and if you can use it against taxes every year, that's great. You can look more into that. And I think every year these companies send you a statement and stuff like that. So Acorns, have some money in the stock market, pick your portfolio, put roundups on if you want, and have a traditional IRA with Acorns. Betterment, have a Roth IRA, let the money automatically be taken out every month of your checking into your account, and just let it go. So now let's get to Stash. Stash, oh, and by the way, Acorns performed second on this list. So Betterment was third, Acorns second, and Stash number 1. Stash, I am overwhelmingly, I mean, Betterment I give 5.5 out of 10. Acorns, an 8 out of 10. Stash, an 8.5 to a 9.5 out of 10. Stash is a little more hands-on. Stash, you can open up accounts like IRA and stuff like that, but you know, since I have a traditional IRA and a Roth. By the way, as a 2018 for a single person, not single as in like married or dating, whatever, but a single, just me, even though I'm married, if I put in, only I could put in $5,500 or less between IRAs as of 2018, accordingly to their website. So between those 2 accounts, you can't put more than $5,500 in your IRAs. If you're married and have a joint account, I think it's like $12,500 or $12,000 or something like that. So just keep in mind, that's just for the IRAs. The stock, you know, you can put as much you want in there. So back to Stash. Stash, you can have IRA account and stuff. I didn't look into that, as I just said. Hold on, guys. My camera turns off after 20 minutes, so we gotta reset this here. Alright, alright, alright. Welcome back, guys. Or, of course, you never left. I left. Okay. So, Stash, so cool. Stash gives you different portfolios that you can invest in the stock market. For example, there's one called Women Who Lead, and it's based on companies that women are kind of run the show. Young Money or Young something like that, where a lot of millennials companies are coming up. There's different ones of conservative ones. There's aggressive portfolios. But the best thing about Stash, not only can you invest in just portfolios, where portfolios are different stocks in one that they choose, that they pick, whoever manages the actual portfolio, who put it together. Now, the cool thing about Stash, you can actually pick some companies to directly invest in, like Walt Disney, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Netflix, Amazon, Apple, Google, GE, Ford, GM Motors. You can invest directly into these companies. Now, what's cool about that is some of these companies aren't affected when if the stock market's down, say the Dow Jones or S&P 500 is down 100 points, some of these companies actually perform better. When you're part of a portfolio, you're kind of in that general, a little bit split between all kinds of different companies, and if that portfolio generally does bad, well then you're down. With the company, you're kind of investing in solely the company, and that's good or bad. It's a risk, because say that company drops 5% in one day, or it's just horribly down for a month or 6 months straight, down 5-6%. You're in that. But if you're in this for a long term, which I really hope you are, because that's what it's made for. That's what micro investing is all about, is the long term haul. But biggest thing I've seen, Stash has been the biggest profit because I'm able to choose the companies I want. And one thing I learned very recently is make financial choices not on emotion. Make financial choice based on making money. For example, if there's a company out there that, well, I ate there, or I bought their product and it's junk, it's not emotion. It's based on product, where that company's going, and if you think they're going to crash someday, then get in while you can, and then before the crash, sell out those shares. Sell out from the company and get in another. And that's what I love about Stash, because you can get in those companies. For example, I put $40 in Netflix. Netflix went up 2%. Imagine if I had, $100,000 and it went up 2%. You can make some good money, and that's why these people, I don't understand why they don't teach this stuff. And I have always been against the stock market because, I grew up in a family where we didn't really ever have much, but what we had, we were happy with. My parents, God bless them, my dad has always been overwhelmingly generous, more than what they should have. They help us children. They bought our first vehicle for us, and just a lot of different things, and they kind of, they helped us versus themselves. So, it would be cool someday if I actually had some money and could do a lot of things for them. But, that's why I wish I knew this stuff back then, back when I first had a job. Because right now, I would be 28 years old and I would be set for life. Right now, if I would have saved every money and put it in this stuff over the years, I've owned 13 different vehicles, and most of them were 1980 and older, or I should say 1995 and older, because I love sports cars, I love working on cars. But now that I know this knowledge, the money that I was spending on the cars that just eventually went away could have been in accounts. Now my whole life would have been different then, and I'm blessed for where I'm at now. So every life choice you make determines what happens in your future. Right now, the choices you make could hurt your future. For example, if you got high credit card and you're just making the minimum payment, you are hurting yourself beyond belief. Spend the year, the 2, the 3 years to get those cards or card paid off. Get them paid off, and then start bettering your future. So Stash, I love it. Stash is really good, but keep in mind that when you're investing, you're going to have highs and you are going to have lows. There might be days, months, weeks, years that everything's negative, but keep on investing every month or every week. Keep on investing. It's the concept of this. Say you have $100 invested in an account. It drops 10%. You think, oh my gosh, well, I just lost 10% of the money that I put in. Guess what? If it's down 10%, put in another $100. Then you're even. So then if it goes up 10%, you just made 10% on your money. If it keeps dropping, slowly keep putting money into that stock. If it just keeps on dropping for years, that's why investing long term works. Because what goes up comes down, and what comes down normally goes back up a little bit. Maybe not as high as it was before, but that's why if you keep investing, say you're like this, you're invested here, you get up on a high and you're doing great, you're making money. Say it drops down to where you're at, you lost that high money. Drops even lower, now you're losing your initial money you put in, and it keeps doing lower and lower and lower. Just slowly, as it's going down, slowly put in a little bit money, a little bit. Now, these big guys trade in minutes. Some guys, they can make $1,000 in 30 seconds because, as it's going down, they sell out, and then it makes a dip, they buy out, then it drops, and they sell right before the buy. So those guys are professional. But for the average Joe, and for people who really, this is pretty much as easy as you can get. So with that being said, Netflix was up 2%. Guess what? I made some money on that. Netflix tomorrow, today, the end of the day, could be down 10%. I lost the money I made plus money I invested. But if I keep investing in that over time, even if it keeps dropping, everything's going to hit a bottom. The question is the company that you're investing, if they hit a rock bottom, will they survive that rock bottom? Are they smart enough with their assets that, once they hit that bottom, then they'll eventually go back up? So keep investing, guys, and that's my opinion on Betterment, Stash, and Acorns. Now let's talk about bank account. Savings accounts, I mean, a lot. You're lucky if you can get 0.5% on your money in your savings account, and that's very lucky unless you have a CD or something like that, which they're pretty much using your money to make money for them. So say you got a CD that's 4%. They're using your money and loaning it out to somebody else for 5% or 6% or 10% or 14%. If it's credit cards, even more. So having money in your bank, keeping money in your bank account, I think is smart for rainy day funds. You should always have 3 months of backup money that is simply accessible very easily, which is a savings or bank account. 3 months of bills saved in your bank and checking account. That's what I recommend. Gold and silver. Gold and silver is kind of like Betterment, Stash, and Acorns. You can buy it physically and hold it and then sell it when it goes high. Just like all these other accounts, you gotta sit on it. So gold and silver, I think, is a great thing. I think everybody should have a Roth IRA, traditional IRA, and some money in the stock market. Have money in your bank account and your savings account for everyday things. I think everybody should have some cash set aside because you never know when you need $1,000 for something that's major, or you just never know when you need the cash. So I think everybody should have cash saved, and I think everybody should have some gold and silver saved as well, because gold and silver are perfect against the dollar. Stock market crashes, most people tend to go to bonds and gold and silver and try and find other things to go to. So that is my take on all this stuff, coming from just a random guy, your average Joe. And if you guys want me to keep following up on stuff, I can. If you guys have any other video suggestions, I can do them. And you know, this is just, it is very sad that they don't teach this stuff unless you go to business school. And I get it. When you go, if someone's going to business school, they're more a prestige person. They don't want the average Joe investing money and someday being well off. Because they just don't like that. They like to keep people poor. And a lot of people think, okay, you're just crazy. That's just some conspiracy thing. Guys, come on. Think about it. Think about it. Why do they have welfare? Just really sit down and think about why welfare is in place. You might think, well, it's in place because these people, they won't eat without money. Yeah, but they're leaning on the government. They're not working for the money. Some cases it's legit that, you know, a single mom with 2 kids really needs help, and the government, you know, hey, we'll help you out, but the problem is they don't want people to be self-sustained, because why else in middle school, in high school, are they not teaching investing or saving or stuff? I mean, some schools do have programs, but mainly you got to go to college to learn this stuff. So it's my intake, guys, and I hope if you got any questions on the Betterment or Stash or Acorns or gold or silver, where to buy, what to do, I can give you my advice as your average guy. Because let's put this, gold and silver, I got into gold and silver in 2009 and I knew nothing about it. I was dating this girl whose grandparent was into gold, and you know, I thought that was neat. I really didn't talk much about it. I really didn't put 2 and 2 together. I just thought, oh, okay, I'm gonna look up gold, and then I looked up silver and thought, oh wow, that's pretty cool. Silver junk change and bullion and bars and rounds and fractional and all this stuff. And then I got looking into currencies and like the silver dollar and all these other red $5 seals and $2 bills, and I got into that whole thing. So I bought silver at $14.90 an ounce, and I ended up selling it for, oh, what was that? Was it $42 an ounce? I think it went up. No, what did it go up to? $49 an ounce or something at its high, and I think I sold out around $42 to $45 an ounce. I made a lot of money. But guess what? I was stupid. I was young. I put that money in. I bought vehicles. Now, when I had money at one point, but then, you know, once you mess up in life and you make wrong choices, especially meeting the wrong people, trusting the wrong people, you really can just spiral from there. So, you know, I made a lot of money, but things happen. And then throughout the years, you know, I slowly bought silver as it dropped down, and now it's pretty low, so now is a great time to invest in silver. Gold, not really. I think if you can get it for $800, maybe $900 an ounce, that's decent, but I wouldn't recommend buying it now. So these other stash accounts, you know, stock market's high. It is extremely high. So you got to be doing this for the long haul, because majority of your time is going to probably be spent down than up. And that's just that's no business experience at all. That's just my personal gut feelings, and my personal gut feelings. If I were to listen to my gut feelings my whole life, I would be sitting not just a cheap green screen back here or a cheap desk that, if you guys can see it, wobbles. I would be sitting in a mansion right now if I followed my gut on everything I've ever done. And I think that's the biggest problem. We don't follow our guts. We don't ignore red flags. We gotta jump in on things when we don't know things. And sometimes we don't want to know things that we don't know, or that's out of our comfort zone. Like the stock market, I was always against it until I met my wife. And you know, my wife saved money all her life. She's the perfect example of someone who made smart choices financially. She saved her money all her life, and you know, without her we wouldn't have this house that we have. So, and you know, again, looking back, even as we were dating, I used to tell her, hey, you know, you should do this or do that. Well, I mean, when it comes down to it, I think we're all scared of what we think we know, but we really don't know. Because I didn't understand, you know, it doesn't matter if the stock market crashes. If you're young and you're still putting money in it, it's going to go back up and you're going to keep making money as long as you keep putting in it and you have the time. So guys, seriously, you don't need to buy that Camaro. You don't need to put on $300 a month payments on a brand new car that you think you need to look better. Do that when you're older, when you got money locked up all over the place and you don't know what to do with all your money. Then, you know, then be that Italian guy in his Ferrari at the age of 50, 55, 60. I mean, seriously, you don't need to, your first house doesn't have to be a mansion. Your first car doesn't have to be a mansion. Buy what works, drive what runs, fix what doesn't, and don't fix what's not broken. There's so much stuff, like, looking back now, I wish I would have done. And, you know, the great thing is I enjoy everything, all the cars I bought. I love cars. Cars are my passion. I wish right now that I could buy all my dream cars, but then I think, I don't want to. I really don't want to, and I don't know if that's part of maturing or what, but I don't want to. I want to invest money. One of the biggest things I've learned from wealthy people is you don't gotta work hard if you're smart when you're young. Now sadly, 99% of us are not smart when we're young, so we gotta work hard for our money. But have your money working for you. See, if you're gonna work hard, don't work hard so you can afford your fancy things. Don't work hard so you can go out to Texas Roadhouse every other night. Don't work hard so your neighbor sees you and thinks, oh my gosh, that guy's got everything. I wish I had that. Work hard so your money works hard for you. Do you understand that? Work hard so your money can then work hard for you. Such a simple concept that they should be teaching this in school, in middle school. That should be a middle school thing where they start to learn. Give kids a fake money and kind of create a fake stock market type thing, and you know, the teacher runs it. Have the teacher be like the manager, and kids can open up bank accounts, have different accounts and stuff. Do you know how awesome that would be if kids started this out from the first grade in middle school, that they up to high school, I mean, if kids were learning this for years and years and years, hello, some kids are going to pick up on this and think, man, this is fun. And it's really fun, even on the lows, because you got to remember it's going to drop and you're going to be losing money at times. The money that you put in cannot be money that you need. The money that you put in has to be long term, and set it and forget it. Like Acorn said, set the money in the account and forget it. Let it grow, because from acorns, mighty oaks grow.
Like acorns grow into mighty oaks, small amounts invested can grow your wealth. Did you know you could change your life from all these small amounts? Acorns, the micro investing that takes your spare change and grows it over time. Set it, forget it, and let it all just work in the background of life. Anyone can grow that wealth, get the app. So grow your wealth, get the app. Invest in yourself, get the app. Invest in yourself, tell your friends.
That's it's such a cool term Acorn uses, but alright guys, I am losing my voice. I hope I helped some of you guys. This is a long video. I'm actually just got back from work and I felt compelled to do this video because I really think people really need to take a hold of your future, guys. Just take a hold of it. Stop being comfortable. Stop working hard so you can enjoy the little things in life. Work hard so you can enjoy the big things in life when you're at the age to enjoy them. Because to be all honest, guys, I had 13 vehicles. I restored vehicles. I had 72 Chevelle SS, 89 Trans Am GTA Camaro, Firebird. I had a 92 Heritage Camaro, 97 lifted 9-inch lift truck that was pretty much almost restored. I had another Firebird. I had custom SUVs. Guys, I have been there and done that, and thank God I'm only 28 years old. But I have been there and done that, and guys, wouldn't you rather have that stuff that you can keep down the road than have it now and enjoy it and then probably have to sell it because, for example, say you have a Camaro. Okay, you're a teenager, have a Camaro, you find the love of your life, you get married, you decide to have kids. But you're not, financially you're not that well off. You both are just working, living paycheck to paycheck, and now you're having kids, and now you got a choice. Do I keep the Camaro? Do I set it out back and let it rust away to nothing? Or do I sell it so we can get an SUV? Or what do we do? Or sell it so we have money? Or, guys, you don't gotta have that predicament. You don't have to be in that position. So, be smart now, and, watch your nest egg grow. And guys, the best thing about all this is not having your eggs in one basket. That is the biggest thing. I thought being diversified meant having some money in my savings account and having some cash. That's what I thought being diversified meant. No, guys, it's spreading your wealth out over whole different categories of areas. One's down, one's up, great. Both are up, great. Both are down, that's great. You still put money in those accounts, let them climb, let them grow, reach your goals, and you know what? And also, guys, it would mean a lot to me if you go subscribe to my channel, and also click the little icon here to turn on notifications. That way anytime I upload a new video, you guys get to see it. So thank you guys very much, and enjoy the rest of the video, or check out all my other videos.